Hi homies, today we're going to be talking about our thoughts of the movie Thor Love and Thunder, which is the fourth Thor movie in its franchise, which, to be fair, he did tell me. So our qualifications, you may ask. I like the movies, and he is a huge nerd, so we are more than qualified to talk about them. No, but he's read a ton of the comic books, and we just wanted to talk about our thoughts on this movie because we've had some good debates recently. So, without further ado, grab a drink or grab some water if you're not 21 in the US, and we'll get started on this party, okay? Cheers. Okay, obviously there's gonna be some spoilers, so if you haven't watched the movie, please click away. Also, slippers from Amazon, like $12, just saying. I feel like the biggest controversy or like complaint with this movie has been that the CGI is lacking, which, kind of. Like, I noticed a few things, and for me it was really evident with Zeus's lightning bolt. I was like, that shit looks fake as hell. But other than that, like, I didn't notice it too bad. I feel like people were kind of like really nitpicking with that. But also, I know that Marvel has been so good with their CGI. So, I don't know. It's like one of those hard things that you don't want to hold it to too high of a standard, but it's also Marvel. So you feel like you have to hold it to this standard as well, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely like spotty in places.
Yeah.
Like pretty clearly you can see it. There's a few moments too, like thinking back now, that specifically like when Thor is talking to Heimdall's son the first time and his head is like floating, it like turns to like a view of the rest of the room, and you have the Jane Foster Thor standing in the background looking just like in the complete opposite direction. Like very clearly she wasn't there at the same time. And they just didn't position her correctly. Yeah, there's like nothing like super major.
Yeah. You know what? Since you brought her up, you know what? Okay, listen. This is my own gripe. This has nothing to do with the character itself, kind of. But, you know, Jane really annoyed me. More so, and again, I know that that's like my own personal beef, but like, okay, all of the Thors in this movie just felt so wimpy. Granted, I understand and I know that she was fighting cancer. It's not that, but it's just like I understand the idea of it, but I just feel like it wasn't laid out very smoothly like Marvel movies used to be, you know? Like everything felt very choppy with this movie. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Thor himself seemed very like dumb in this movie. Maybe a better word for it is just like both Thors in this movie just felt off. Like I didn't get the same like, oh, like wow, that's like a god. I was like, oh, it's like cute, like okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the comedy was like kind of hit or miss in this movie, which is unfortunate because, you know, with Ragnarok, they proved they could do like comedy Thor really well while still adapting like more of his serious storylines. And whereas in Ragnarok, he was the one kind of like cracking the jokes, and like the situations he found himself in were funny. In Love and Thunder, it seemed like he was kind of the joke himself.
Yeah.
Rather than like the one.
Well, and they milked the one joke way too much with the with his axe, and then him like still being whatever with the hammer. Like, okay, I mean there was like 3 or 4 jokes just from that one thing. It's like, I don't know, it got old at a certain point. You were like, bro.
Yeah.
You know
the first
I mean?
one's like funny.
Yeah.
But it's
after
like,
that, it's like, okay. Yeah. Especially at the point where like they were traveling down the Rainbow Road and they like still like from Mario Kart. But like even then they threw in like 2 jokes about it in that like one scene.
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt like a lot. It felt like a lot for a not so funny joke.
Yeah, like the first
joke
time
itself
It was like,
I mean, yeah, exactly.
it was like a chuckle.
Aha.
But I wasn't like, hey, this is so funny, let's keep pounding it into the audience.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so I brought it up before, but Zeus's lightning bolt, I'm sorry, but it looked terrible. I thought it looked so bad because it literally looked like a styrofoam. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but it looked like a rubber lightning bolt with the CGI, like, little zaps around it. But here's my question. Okay, riddle me this, and I guarantee that this is maybe just something that I'm missing within the movie itself. Why can no one use Thor's power and, like, the hammer, unless they're worthy, yeah. But yet he can use Zeus's lightning bolt? Because then, like, by default, why would Thor not be at the top of, like, the gods? Then if no one else besides who's worthy can use his power, but then anyone can use Zeus's. And then you said, too, about, like, why couldn't Thor just use his own lightning, you know?
Yeah, I mean, his lightning isn't as powerful. And
okay, but I'm just saying.
It's like a different form of lightning, I think, too. Like, kind of like, they needed Zeus's for whatever reason.
But that wasn't explained.
Specifically for this. It wasn't, but...
No, but that's my point, is, like, you watch this, and it's like, you know what, though? Like, why did they need Zeus's light? Like, I know they went there to try and get more gods on their side, and it didn't work, but then it's like, so you just took his lightning for the fun of it? Like, explain it, you know what I mean? Don't just assume that your audience knows these little details, and maybe we're just looking. But it was also a short movie, so you said they could have added more stuff in. I don't know. So I have my notes on my phone for this video. And I just read one that says, why was Thor a big weenie? I'm just saying, like, bro spent a majority of the movie, like, at Mega Weenie Jr. Mega Weenie Hut Jr.
Weenie Hut...
No, there's a Mega Weenie Hut Jr.
No, it's Mega Weenie Mondays at Weenie Hut Jr.
My bad.
Or Super Weenie Hut Jr.
That's what I was thinking of.
Or Weenie Hut Wednesdays at Weenie Hut Jr. Or if you're injured, you can go to Weenie Hut General. But if you get injured on Mega Weenie Monday at Weenie Hut Juniors, then you'll have to go to Weenie Hut General.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Super Weenie Hut Junior. You don't gotta cry, it's just Thor. Thor 4.
For who?
Yo,
mama. Another point, and I'm kind of stealing yours, because we've talked about this before, but the kids did not need to be kidnapped. Like, when you really think about it, that added absolutely nothing to...
Yeah.
Like, why? For what reason? Literally can't add to it, because what did they...
No, because, like, he was going after Gore regardless.
Yeah,
That's
like...
the whole reason he went to Omnipotent City, to try to get help from the other gods.
Omnipotent. You're omnipotent. Please be serious.
No.
Fair enough. No, but literally, like, the kids being kidnapped, for what? It didn't add anything. Like, it didn't add any sort of, like... And really, one, they weren't being tortured at all. Like, yeah, the parents wanted them home, but, like, I don't know. They were chilling. Like...
Yeah, and, like, you could say that it added stakes.
Well, but here's my thing, too. There didn't feel like a whole lot of urgency to really get them. Like, there was... But they sure took a whole lot of pit stops to go get the kids. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And I know they wanted to be smart about it, but, like, listen. I don't know. Also, so did the parents have powers, or they were just normal people?
I think they were just normal for the most part.
Okay. Well, because I was going to say, I'm like, if they had powers, parents really just said, that's tough, kids. Damn, sorry. Try again another day.
Yeah, no, I think they were just normal, and that's kind of why, like, they couldn't really do anything. But yeah, I don't think the kids added, like, any sort of stakes to the movie, even if you want to argue they did, because the stakes are already there, in that if Gore gets Stormbreaker, he gets to eternity and all the gods die.
Okay, but let's talk about that.
Those are your stakes.
Hold on, let's talk about that too, because we only saw, supposedly, he's this god slayer. We saw, what, 2 gods die? One.
One.
We saw one god die.
Yeah.
In the movie. And it was the very first one who... Okay. I don't know. Like, the whole movie just felt very, like, just, like, meh. Everything, like, piled together. They were like, good enough. You know?
Yeah. It just, I don't know, like... While we're on him, I guess we'll talk about him. Because...
Oh,
really,
Voldemort?
Yeah, like, Gore is such a cool villain, especially in, like, the world of Thor. And, I don't know, this movie kind of just wasted that.
Yeah, from what you told me, it did not sound like this villain at all.
Like, I went back and I looked at the run where he appears and, like, everything that they go through, like, opposing each other, him and Thor. And I'd forgotten, but when I looked back, I saw it again, and, like, by the end of that arc, like, Thor realizes and kind of, like, understands that everything Gore is, like, saying and preaching is right about the gods, that, like, people look up to them and, like, they shouldn't.
Who realized that? Say it again.
Thor.
Thor realized
He realizes that, like, Gore has a point. Like, the gods are, like, vain, like, self-centered. People shouldn't look up to them anymore. And Thor literally becomes unworthy because of this.
Let's dive in. Hold on. Sidetrack for a second because you brought it up. Okay, so not only was, a huge, evidently, like, a plot hole or, like, this turning point missed from the comics. Let's talk about the trailer, though, because I feel like that's almost as important, if not, as important as this one scene that I remember seeing in the trailer that wasn't in the movie, and I thought it made a world of a difference, but the one where, I'm really bad with names, so I just call him Voldemort, but you know who I'm talking about, where he says to Thor, he's like, you're not like the other gods, and they just lost that. So then Thor goes through all of this, and you can even see the moment where he's there in, what was it, Olympus? So he's in the city of the gods, and, like, they all laugh at him, they couldn't care less, and he's like, no, that's wrong, but then they just leave it at that. Like, he didn't, like, have this moment of being like, no, that's not right, and, like, showing himself to be, like, the Thor that I feel like he has been in other movies, you know what I mean? Like, very good, like, moral compass. I know he's lost himself, but that should have almost been, like, the moment he found it again. Because that's what this whole movie was about, him finding himself, and I don't feel like he did. It was literally just him going through the motions, going through the movie, and doing whatever. And yeah, the kids got saved, whoop-de-doo. That's literally the only, like, redemption part of this story. It just, honestly, it felt like they just made this movie to lay out for Phase 4, which is fine, I get it, but still at least put effort and, like, make the movies as good of quality and the storylines done well like they have been. There's two moments in there, two very defining moments for Thor that were just completely missed.
Yeah, and I can kind of see, like, because, you know, the very first Thor movie, he becomes unworthy and has to, like, regain it, which, yeah, we get. And then you kind of see, like, through Endgame, he's not unworthy, but, like, he blames himself for what happened in Infinity War.
Sure.
So, technically, like, he's basically unworthy. He tells himself he is.
Well, I mean, he's depressed. I wouldn't say he's
so
unworthy.
He's telling himself that he is, pretty much.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, the interaction with Gore and, like, the realization that he comes to that, like, yeah, the gods are actually a problem. Like, not all of them, obviously, but a majority are. And that this, like, plants such a seed of doubt in his mind about, like, not only the gods, but himself being a god, that he becomes unworthy for a while.
Yeah.
And, again, while he's unworthy, Jane is there as Thor.
Yeah.
She also kind of got wasted.
That's what I felt like, too. Yeah,
I
felt
didn't
like
think we were only
character...
going to get her for a single movie. And we might not, because of what happens at the end, but, like...
Okay, since you brought it up, though, hold on. Since he brought it up, let's talk about that. What annoyed me was... So Jane gets to go to Valhalla. So Sif doesn't get to go to Valhalla because she was dying after the battle. Mind you, Jane died after the battle while they were in front of... Is that Eternity?
Yeah.
So I thought that CGI was terrible, by the way. But, so tell me, why does she get to go to Valhalla and not Sif, make it make sense. You know what I mean? That part really annoyed me because I was like, hold on, you have the same situation and 2 different outcomes? That's not right. Like, I don't know. I just felt like that was super lazy and overlooked and missed. Like, I don't know, maybe it's the storyline, whatever, but it's like, if you're gonna put in that line about Sif not going to Valhalla specifically, and they opened the door just so we knew and remembered what Valhalla was, like, you know that's why they did that, but then it's
they
like...
said it a few times.
Right, but then it's like, so then you say that, but then you have the same circumstance at the end of the movie. Here's my thing with it, too. I really don't want to be, like, overly critical, and I love Marvel movies, but when they're not done well, they lose kind of their sparkle. You know what I mean? Like, you go to a Marvel movie looking for this, yes, very similar formula, and I know their last 2 movies have branched off of that, but at a certain point, it's like, these have just been, it's not only different from a different formula, I just don't think they're done well. Especially this Thor one. I wasn't a huge fan of Doctor Strange, but that was more so for my own reasons, not so much to do with the movie itself, but this one especially, like...
Yeah, no, I think this Thor movie was, like, the epitome of, like, fine.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Well, and honestly, that's the way it felt like they made it, too. They were like, yeah, it's fine. You said a bunch of their workers are, like, striking and not working with them because of the ridiculous deadlines, right? Like, I don't need the quantity or whatever, you know, of Marvel movies a year. I just want them done well. That's the whole point of you going to see a Marvel movie, is it's so detailed and it's so done well, and then suddenly it's not.
I think we had a lot of the same thoughts, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just felt like gore could have been used more, used better. Mm-hmm. You could have actually shown us the God Butcher, like, killing gods, so that the audience, like, did have, like...
Felt the urgency.
The urgency and, like, the fear, like... Because, like, he just didn't feel intimidating, like, at all.
And you know what? Something else, too, was when they were battling for, to get Stormbreaker, that also just felt like, oh, damn, he got Stormbreaker, that's tough. You know what I mean? Like, that was a very, like, not Marvel-esque battle that we saw. Because that's really the only time, besides the very end fight, that they had, like, this big interaction. Besides when he took the kids, but even then, it was very, like, minimal, it felt like. Because he didn't even know who it was or what it was or anything. But then, so you have this one big main battle, which Thor loses, and, like... what else, you know? Also very weird to me that, like, Jane was the one willing to get up out of the hospital to go fight that last battle, but then Valkyrie wasn't. Like, knowing her character, you're telling me she wouldn't have gotten up too?
Maybe.
Okay,
she would get stabbed, like, through the stomach. That probably hurt a little bit.
I still
probably
feel like...
hinders her fighting abilities slightly.
Yeah. Well, Jane had cancer. She was dying.
Yeah, but she gets to transform into a super powerful being.
All right. Fair enough.
As she is.
I know. Okay, fair enough. But I'm just saying, like, determine... What's the word I'm looking for?
Determination?
Determination-wise. I don't know. It just felt like... I don't know. I would have loved to have seen her in the last battle, too. Like...
Yeah. I feel like where Endgame left, like, Thor and, like, the new Asgard was in, like, a really, like, interesting, like, cool place where they had a lot of, like, opportunity and possibility to do cool new stuff. And then it was just like, well, New Asgard just turned into, like, a tourist attraction.
Yeah, it literally looked like Disney World.
And, like, they have an ice cream shop called Infinity Cones. Which, funny, like, gag, but also...
Good prank.
Let's think about it as if we were living in the Marvel Universe. Half of the universe was killed by this guy. And then brought back. And now we have an ice cream shop constantly reminding us of this. Cool. But yeah, and then, like, leaving Thor off with, like, the Guardians of the Galaxy was, like, a super cool like premise that could have been,
which we saw for a minute.
yeah,
and a
they were
half.
in it for like 10 minutes, and it was
Not
like,
even. I feel like it was 90 seconds.
like, man, I would have like an adventure like with them together for the movie. And I get you have to like separate them because the Guardians are going off into Volume 3 to do their own thing. That's the last time we're going to see those characters, so Thor shouldn't be there. That's fine. You could have them team up for the movie, and at the end they go their separate ways.
I don't know. When was Spider-Man supposed to come into the movie?
Which one?
This one.
Never. Guy's stinky.
Groot, what are your thoughts on the matter?
Groot.
I am Groot. No, but not only that. So I felt like we had more time focusing on these damn screaming llamas than we did with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh my bad. Screaming
Flying
goots.
goots.
Flying screaming goots.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I know it was like that, like particular aspect, like, like split. You know, the audience down the middle. The goats.
Oh, the goats.
Constantly screaming.
I mean, it was funny, but that's all it was. No, I thought it was funny too,
Yeah,
but it's. I did too, but I'm just. I laughed too, but I'm just saying, like, again, it was one of those jokes that was like,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah,
didn't feel like it needed to be there.
When you leave off like Endgame with Thor going off with the Guardians, I feel like it's setting up like an expectation that we're gonna see them together, and like, yeah, you can argue technically we did see them together, but like,
I feel like that shouldn't even count.
it was
though.
super short, and the Guardians didn't really even do anything.
I was thinking that too, bro. So they fought one battle together, where
That we
Thor.
saw.
I'm talking about.
It would have been
movie.
nice to see the other one.
That's what I'm saying though. No, but not only that. So they fought one battle in the movie.
Yep.
And then Thor and honestly, but even then they weren't together because Thor just came in and was like, you know. Yeah, literally. So also that didn't even show. I mean, I guess maybe that was the point that like Thor hasn't learned to work with others, but like that wasn't a problem before. I don't know. That felt weird too. Now that you mention it.
Not a good setup that just like didn't get capitalized on.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, like I said, it just feels like fine. Like, it was cool getting gore, but they didn't really do him justice.
No, bro, just looked
cool
like a
seeing
skinny
Mighty
Voldemort.
Thor, and they didn't really do her justice. Like, yeah, I guess she was the hero of the movie, obviously, but
It
it's
didn't
like...
feel like it.
Yeah, it didn't really feel like it, and
But
like,
also...
we haven't seen her in so long.
Yeah, that was another thing too. But also like, but not okay, not that. Yeah, that. Like you just said, it also didn't feel like it. What? Because really, like, yeah. I mean, I guess she went at the very end and like saved things, but I also feel like wasn't. Did she though? I don't know.
Not really, because Gore made the decision himself to ask for his daughter back.
I was gonna say, but he real.
Like, he still got to eternity. They didn't stop him.
No, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, he still reached his end goal, and that's the T, folks.
Very cool seeing eternity, though. That was a nice surprise. Regardless of how the CGI looked, it's cool to see.
It was so bad. Okay. I'm just saying that was probably the worst CGI I've literally ever seen in my life. It is dead ass. I'm sorry, but this looks like they cut out the shape of eternity, painted it green, and then just stuck a starry background on it to make eternity. Tell me that's not what it looked like. Tell me I'm wrong. Because
I mean,
you
yeah,
can't.
it's
you cannot.
kind of hard to like visualize eternity.
I agree.
Because it's just an endless being, but like I don't even think that was the worst CGI in this movie.
You don't?
I think there were other scenes that are. I'll try to find the screen caps of them from like the trailers and like images and stuff. There's some pretty like bad ones.
This one looked so bad.
There's some pretty bad ones.
No, I'm with you, but this looked so bad.
There were some pretty bad ones.
No. No, because this looked literally like so flat. Like they cut out a piece of paper, just taped it to a wall, painted it green, and then stuck a green screen like overlay on it. And I'm not discounting like, yeah, it's hard to picture eternity or whatever. That's not my issue. You literally could have had a floating orb of some sort that looked very 4D-esque. You know how like This thing looked one-dimensional. One-dimensional. I don't even know what one-dimensional looks like, but it looks like that.
Maybe that's what looking to eternity looks like, though.
Bro, bullshit. If you're looking into eternity, nah, I don't believe it. Sorry, no.
Okay. There are some pretty bad ones.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying that this is the worst.
I don't think it is.
It is, I'm telling you. No, I bet you $10 it is. What other ones?
You can't make that bet. It's subjective. No. I'm telling you this. I know. See, I say this. Yeah, no.
Exactly. I can make the bet.
You can, but I won't take it.
Exactly. Okay, but you said I can't make the bet. I can make the bet. Just get your facts straight.
Get yours straight.
They are.
They're not. It wasn't the worst.
Literally as straight as line. Yeah, I thought it was pretty bad, but that something else we talked about too with CGI. Whenever they would like go to be transported somewhere, like take off running really quick, and you could just see them stop in this pose.
Yeah, it didn't really sync up well. No. The editing. I should be able to see like the visual like stopping of the actor, and then the CGI like kicking in.
It's like a delay. Come on, any minute now.
Yeah. Could have been better.
Could have been better.
You know, what do you need to do?
Make a better movie, I don't know.
Do we know?
Yeah, guys, we are now movie reviewers.
So are we doing... Is this like movie reviews or is this like Marvel reviews? Like, do we want to talk about like the TV shows and stuff too?
I don't know. I think we'll take it as it comes because I don't think that every Marvel thing necessarily warrants a huge conversation.
No, it does. It's Marvel. I'm telling you it does.
Okay.
As the authority here on Marvel Comics.
The authority here?
How many comics have you read?
Doesn't mean you're the authority here. Anyway.
As the authority. We'll be seeing you all for more Marvel talk.
I think...
We gotta do at least the movies, though.
Let me talk. No, we will. We'll do the movies.
Like, definitely the movies, if not the shows.
No,
I'm just saying, like, the movies for sure.
For sure.
The shows?
I'm with you. Shows, maybe, yeah.
Would you do a show if, like, it was one that I wanted to talk about?
Yeah, of course.
Cool. We'll do She-Hulk then.
Fine.
The
She-Hulk? Are you talking about me?
CGI in the trailer for She-Hulk is worse than the Eternity shot. Have you not seen the
trailer?
trailer?
No, I haven't, but also, hold on.
I will show you the trailer.
Okay, actually,
also,
no.
not to hate on She-Hulk, she's one of my favorite Marvel characters. I think she's awesome.
Excuse me, what the fuck?
And I get the trailer probably came out sooner than it should have. Like,
no,
because that CGI is definitely not finished.
Okay, hold on. Okay, we gotta
it's bad.
We gotta pull the plug because we will be talking about that too. Because there's something I have to say about it too, but I don't want to derail from this conversation.
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Thor: Love and Thunder. What would you rate it? Scale of 1 to 10.
Fine.
You know what though?
Fine. So like 5. It was entertaining enough.
Yeah.
It's like if you want to spend like $20 to go see it.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a Marvel fan, do it. Which, if you're a Marvel fan, we probably don't have to tell you to do it. You probably have already saw it. But if you're on the fence or whatever, I'd say like it's an entertaining like night at the very least. I think it's worth the ticket price, but like don't expect anything like to knock your socks off.
So
or,
it's
blow
honestly.
you away.
I can't speak on value because it is hard because you and I are very much so... No, I'm saying like you and I love to go see movies.
Yes.
So if someone's on the fence, like you said, Marvel fans, they're already going to see it. You're already going to go watch it no matter what. But those who are on the fence, I don't know. It depends. And my biggest gripe with the last 2 Marvel movies is... Like I said, they just don't feel like Marvel movies right now, and maybe that's the point of it being, like, Phase 4, whatever, but, like, again, you've got this, like, Krabby Patty, like, secret formula that's been great and everyone's loved, and then all of a sudden you're changing and shifting, and that's fine, but also, like, I just feel like as fans, we're not the forefront of thought, which I understand as a business we wouldn't be, but that's also, like, kind of shitty to, like, for it to be that blatantly obvious with the CGI, the thought process, just the slapping together, because there was even a clip that you showed me of the director and Tessa Thompson talking, and where, like, about this one scene that she was like, yeah, we were all supposed to be, like, or he was supposed to have just woken up, and that's why she went, like, and he was like, oh, I didn't even realize that. I'm like, it's literally your job as a director to notice that. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
You're gonna look at me and you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong?
I also think that, like, Doctor Strange did, like, veer off this, like, Marvel movie formula. I don't think Thor did. I think Thor was just, like...
Okay, actually, fair.
Like...
Fair point.
Not great. And it just was, like, so, like, fine of a movie that, like, you almost want to lump it in. But, like, it stuck pretty similar to, like, the, like, classic Marvel formula we've had for, like, pretty much since the first Iron Man movie.
Okay, that's true.
Doctor Strange for sure veered off,
yeah,
like, big time. And obviously Sam Raimi directing that, it's going to. But, yeah, I just think Thor was just so, like, eh.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's fair.
That it almost seems like it did veer off.
I was gonna say, yeah, because...
But
and I think
like,
it's just lacking that quality, that, like, feeling that a Marvel movie usually leaves you with, because, like, I left and I was like,
it was just
okay.
Like, yeah.
Like, alright, cool. Also, I don't know,
which
like...
stinks, because, like, I feel especially with Gore, they could have veered off the formula, and it would have been really good.
That one would have made more sense.
And it
to have a lot more...
didn't. They stuck to the formula, which
Listen, all I'm saying is if your name is... I'm saying if your name is Gore, and we literally see one god be killed...
Yeah,
and
so
even that,
we saw two dead gods. We only saw one of them actually get killed.
Right, and even then
and
it wasn't
the
like...
very beginning of the movie, and it wasn't like a fight.
No, and also it wasn't even like a very, like... Not brutal, I'm not trying to say, like, give us that brutal murder. But
also,
like,
how, like, what's the time frame, too, right? From when he becomes the God Butcher to when, like, how many gods has he actually killed at this point?
I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Yeah, I don't know. It was a very weird, like, oh, there's this God Butcher, and, like, yeah, it's kind of a problem. Also, my ex-girlfriend's here, and I want to go see her. And my ex-hammer's here. I want to go see it. Like, that was literally the movie. Sorry to spoil the whole movie, but that was it. That's all I have to say to it. It was meh. Yeah, but you rated it lower than I would have. I would have said like a 6.
I'd say like a 5 or a 6 right around there. It's so middle of the road.
That's true.
It's just like, because it's not terrible by any means. It was entertaining enough. Like, we had a good time. Yeah. We laughed.
But I also think
80% of the jokes probably.
But I think that's biased to an extent. Do you
Maybe
not?
a little. It's not the, like, worst way to spend, like, a night.
Yeah.
Or, like, the worst thing to go see at the movies right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, well...
For sure,
that's,
but, like...
That's not saying much, though.
I think there's pretty good stuff right now, though. As well.
Yeah, I think maybe it's just hard now because we're in, like, all the transitional movies, so it's hard because it feels very, like... I don't know, like, all very,
it feels
like...
disconnected right now.
Yes, yeah.
It feels disconnected, but I think, at the same time, and it's so long ago at this point, that phase 1 of Marvel, like, early on, like, Iron Man 1, Thor, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm. But it never felt like this.
That stuff was, like, it felt, like, a little disconnected early in phase 1.
So.
Like, we knew we were building to the Avengers, but, like, some stuff was just like,
I don't think so.
Like I said, it's been so long.
I disagree so much.
I think early phase 1, even phase 2 also did, I feel like.
Again, so this is really why I like talking about this stuff too, because you're coming at a different perspective than I am. I haven't read the comics. I don't always know what's coming or being set up, but it always felt... I don't know, it always left you with a good feeling. And then lately, these haven't been as much. And also, they've just felt very, like... So it either hasn't left you with that feeling, or it feels very middle of the road. Which I'm like, kind of sucks, you know? Just to see, like, this franchise. And I understand that they are building towards this new area and new thing. Before, I haven't felt it before. And I do think it's just difficult to...
You want to watch Thor 2? Iron Man 2.
Okay, slow down there. I really liked Iron Man. I liked all of them. Mm-hmm. Thor: Love and Thunder. A very middle of the road movie with Chris Hemsworth in it. So it's somewhat redeeming. I'm joking.
This will be a solo series moving forward. You won't be seeing her.
It's my channel. Yeah, I had a lot of fun making this video. So I think we'll keep it going. We'll see how it is. I'm not going to put pressure on it to like make it a series or whatever. Oh. But anyway, guys, let us know your thoughts below if you guys have seen it, are going to see it, don't want to see it. I feel like there's been a lot of criticism online. Some of it justified. Some of it is just nitpicking. But
some of it's people just like complaining, which is like gonna happen with every movie, no matter what. But I think the movie does have a lot of valid criticisms.
Exactly. So, thank you so much for watching. And as always, I hope you have an amazing day, week, month, whenever you're watching this. Go out and live an amazing life. And as always, be kind to others. You have to blow them a kiss.
The hell?
I'm just kidding. I'm gonna block it out. This is our secret handshake, okay?
You honestly won't forget for sure.
No, I just said it. Groot, what are your thoughts?
Oh my god, he's a child.
Being a superhero
What is this?
is a trial by fire.
This is She-Hulk.
Who's gonna protect the world?
Live reaction.
People like you.
I have thoughts already. Stop.
Jennifer Walters. I'm a lawyer. I have great friends.
I'm really crying if this was unfinished CGI.
Demanding job.
We just started a superhuman
No, I
law
have something
division,
else to
and
add.
I want you to be the face of it.
And a frustrating family.
Because you didn't ask for this, but you still gotta deal with it. Your transformations are triggered by anger and fear.
Those are like the baseline of any woman just existing. Oh. Bruce, kind of feels like if I don't transform, I'm gonna die.
Yes, yes, yes. No, no.
I just want to be a normal, anonymous lawyer. Can you tell us where She-Hulk is? Jen, you're a story now. Girl, your ass looks crazy right now.
Why does she have Shrek hands?
You could be an Avenger. Oh, I'm not a superhero. That is for billionaires and narcissists and adult orphans for some reason.
Attorney at
Is there
law.
anything more depressing than dating in your 30s?
Yeah, this is the best date I've had in a while.
Oh,
Should we split some fries?
let's get those to go.
Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about a few of our thoughts. No. Hi guys, today we're going to be talking about a few of our thoughts from Thor Love and Thunder. Of Thor Love and Thunder. Sorry.
Please.
Alright guys, today we're going to be talking about our thoughts. Stop! You're going to make me laugh.
Huh?
Stop, you're making me laugh.
Alright guys, what is
No!
up? Today we're going to be going over our thoughts from